Hello and welcome back. In the last video, I showed you how to identify items which were then used to create subject-wise tables. These tables were the students table, questions, payments and courses. We then learned how to create a relationship between these tables, and based on this relationship we created a student form students, which had two subforms, courses subform and the payment subform. So finally we needn't put details in our tables one by one, but we placed the data in our form and it was automatically transferred to the table student, questions, payments and courses. Let me just show you that form students. I'll double click on it and you see it opens up here. At the bottom you can see we have 5 students whose data has been filled up. I will just click on this to go to the last record on this arrow here. So here we are on the last record. If I now click next, then I can enter data. I need not enter the student ID. I just click on this salutation and I can select, for example, Mr. I can write the name here, the first name, the last name, date of birth. I get here a calendar from which I can select. So let me say I select 2nd June. Now I can change this to 1998, press enter. I can write the mobile phone number, the email ID, house number, city and so on. As you can see, I can also select the course ID here, and last time when you saw this being done, the price was not visible. So I have changed that and I'm going to show you how I did that. So if I select, for example, Excel VBA, I know what is the price. I can put the price here. It is 5990. Once I have done that, I can scroll down, and if the student makes a payment, for example, I can enter that. And I can also enter the payment date, the payment type, and finally I can also enter the question. That means how did the student get to know about us, and the form has been filled up. So if I press the next button, I will be offered a new entry here, which I'm not going to do now, but I'm going to show you that this entry has been made in the students table. You see there, Mr. Harry Gonsalves. Let me just close this side of the field list, and all the details have been filled here, student details. And as you notice, I haven't put a picture, so we can do that also. Let's go to the payments, and you see there is a payment ID of 3000 on 22nd June through net banking, and the student ID is 6. In the courses table, you can see that the student ID 6 has selected Excel VBA and the course fees is 5990. Finally, we have the questions table here. We'll double click on it, and there you can see that the student ID 6 got to know about us through an ad in the magazine. So we need not fill out the details in each of the tables. We fill the form and the data is automatically transferred to the tables. So let me go back to the form students here. First I'll close these tables. The form students is here. I can go back to 6 and here I can select this image and then add an image. So I can add this image, for example. Okay, and you see the image appears here. And if I go back to my students table, you will see on the right hand side that this will become 1. It'll take some time. Let me just close this now and close this also. And let me go back to the students table. And there you see the picture appears here as 1. So I can even double click here. And you can see that the picture is there. I'll cancel this now. So in this manner, we have been able to make our system such that when a student visits the Computer Learning Institute, we can enter all the data immediately. Now, let me show you in the design mode. I'll just close the students table. In the courses table, how I get the course name and the price. So we can go to the lookup wizard. We'll take I want to type, and here instead of taking one column we will take 2 columns. And you see here we can write, for example, Excel VBA, and we can write the price here and so on. Okay, and this is the way we will get that price with the Excel course. So I'm going to cancel this now and I will go back to my student form. I won't save this. I'll go in the design mode, in the design view, and here in the course's name I'll click on the property sheet, and you see here I have made the column count 2. So when you do that, you'll be able to see the course name and the fees. The next thing that we wanted was, whenever the student comes to us, we should know what is his balance due. That means the payment due. So for that, I'm just going to close this. I won't save this. So for that, I have created a query, a student's query. I'll right click on this and go to the design view, and you see for the query I have selected these 3 tables, and from each of these tables I take the required item that I want. For example, here I have taken the salutation, first name, last name. You just need to double click on these items. They will appear here. And finally, if you see here, the balance due is the course fees minus the sum of the payments that the student makes. How is that done? Let me show you. So I'm going to close this query. I'm going to create another query so you can see how that was done. So we will go to create query wizard. We'll make a simple query. We'll say OK. And here you see we can select the items that we want for the query from the relevant tables. So I'm not going to take from student query, but I'm going to take from table students. So I can take whatever I want here. Okay. So if I take, for example, salutation, first name, last name, and I won't take any of these, then I will go to the payments table and select the payment amount. You can also select other things if you like payment date and payment type, but we'll just select the payment amount. There it is. And finally, we will select the courses table so we can then see what course the student has taken, or we will just take the course fees. Okay. and we can go to next. Would you like a detail or summary query? So we'll say detailed query. We'll go to next and we'll have to give a name. So we already have students query. So I'll just say students query 2 and open the query to view the information. We need not modify it, we'll finish it. And you see this is how it looks like. Okay, and you can see that John has made different payments here, and this is not total. So every time the payment is repeated. So what we can do, we can close this now. We'll right click on the students query 2, open it in design view, and you can see the similar type of table that I showed you last time. So once I have created this query, I can create a calculated field and I'll call this balance due, and I'll put a colon, and in square brackets I'll write course fees, square bracket close, minus sum, and it will be the payment amount, because every time the student makes a payment we want to ensure that his payment is total. So how do I get that total? I click on the totals and I get here the totals item, and because I'm going to sum the payment amount, I click on group by and click on sum. So once that is done, the query is complete now. What it will do is from the course fees it will subtract the sum of payments. I can close this now and it will ask me to save, so we'll say yes. And if we now double click on query 2, see what happens. Harry Gonsalves has made 2 payments. So we now see the total payments that he has made, and from the course fees we subtract the total and his balance due is 1990. So this is an easy way to finally find out how much the student owes the institute, so that we can remind him at an appropriate date. The next step is to learn how to create a report. I have created here a report called balance payment due. I'm just going to double click on it to show you the kind of report it creates. So we have the balance payment due report. It gives you the name of the student, the course fees, the sum of payment amount, and the balance due. Okay, so I'm going to close this and explain to you step by step how I created this report. So we go to create and we go to report wizard, and in this case we will use the student's query as the starting point. So we can have the salutation, first name, last name, and the balance due, just that one. Or you can have all of this as I showed you in my other report, but in this case we'll just take these 3. We have salutation, first name, last name, and the balance due. So I've taken the balance due also now, and we'll go to next, and this is how the report will look like. So we'll say next, and we can also do a sorting here. For example, let us say by first name or last name. So we'll do it by last name, and we'll go to next, and it'll give us a tabular layout. You can select commoner and justified, but we'll keep the default method here, and we will take the orientation of the page as portray, and we will keep this checked, adjust the field width so all fields filled on a page. We'll go to next, and this is our student's query. Actually this is our report, so we will say balance due report 2, and we will preview the report. We'll click on finish. So there you see, this is the report we will see when we use the student's query as the base. And the earlier report, balance due report, looked like this. I've just double clicked on that, where I have the last name, salutation, first name, course name, and so on. But in our newer report we have just taken the last name and we have sorted that according to the last name, salutation, first name and the balance. So in this video we have learned how to create a calculated field in a query. We have then learned how to create a report using the report wizard. I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching.